Hello, y'all come on in. Like, tag, and share for us, please. As y'all come in, like, tag, and share for us, please. Welcome, y'all come on in. We say our farewells tonight. Y'all help us say our farewells tonight. Thank you to those that are sharing. Thank you for those that are tagging. Y'all come on in. Help us build an audience tonight, please. Thank you. Hey, Ali. Y'all help us tonight. Thank you for those that are joining in. Like, tag, and share for us, please. How y'all doing tonight? Bringing my partner on now. Thank you, Allison. Thank you to those that are tagging and sharing. Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing pretty good. How are you?
Doing good, doing good.
Awesome. I hear a little.
Uh-huh. I was just gonna ask you, okay, hold on.
While we're waiting on Shonda to get situated, let's take another minute or two and like, tag, and share. We are kicking off our finale via Facebook tonight. This is our last night on Facebook Live. We will be going to a new platform starting January 1. Thank you to those that are tagging and sharing. We greatly appreciate it. And if those of you do not mind, I don't mind if you send some stars as support to us. The funds that we will get from these stars will be used to help us grow our content and our platform. Thank you to those that are sharing. Good evening, Keela. Y'all like, tag, and share for me. Let's kind of build an audience tonight. Thank you to those that are like, tagging, and sharing. We got a good topic tonight. I think it'll help us, not only through December, but it could be helpful throughout our life. Thank you to those that are like, tagging, and sharing. Y'all really help us build this audience. I greatly appreciate it. Come on in. Come on in. You ready, Shonda? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Help us to like, tag, and share tonight. It looks like we lost Shonda. She's having some technical issues. Let's give her a moment to come back in. I'm going to utilize this time to go ahead and build the audience while she's dealing with her technical issues. Y'all like, tag, and share for me. It looks like she's coming back in now. Hello, Georgina. If you all would just like, tag, and share for me. We're currently at about 11 views. Let's let these numbers go up, up, up. We want to go ahead and give a finale tonight. Bringing Shonda on now. I appreciate those of you that are sharing. All right.
Okay, tell me, how does that sound? Do you hear?
No, I don't hear. It sounds good.
Okay, good. Okay. It might have been my laptop this entire time.
Really?
Yeah, that's what it probably was. I usually have my laptop next to the phone, so it probably was my laptop this entire time, and I'm just realizing it.
Wow. Y'all help us bring the numbers back up. We were in the double digits just a moment ago. Hey, Andy, how you doing, cuz? Like, tag, and share for us. We got a good little topic tonight. I think it'll be helpful to us throughout December and in various areas. Thank you to those that are like, tagging, and sharing. I see the numbers going back up. Shonda, let's go ahead and kick this thing off. We'll, whoever catch the playback, tonight is a special night for Conversations with the Shondas. Tonight we embark upon the finale of Conversations with the Shondas. We are, hello, how you doing, Veronica? Y'all like, tag, and share for us, please. We are excited. Keila said, let's get to this message. We've realized in time past we pre-shared the message, and we just kind of want y'all in suspense tonight on the finale.
I love it.
I believe that this conversation tonight will be very fruitful. I'm very sure that it's going to go in various angles. I'm not going to have a boundary to it. I'm going to let it flow wherever it goes. We're just going to have a start and a baseline. Drum roll, please. Let's talk about the topic tonight. Let's talk about the topic tonight. Tonight's topic is, drum roll, please. Setting achievable goals. And so when we talk about setting achievable goals, we're going to talk in various facets. We're going to talk about in marriage, in, social relationships, both obviously romantic and platonic. We're going to talk about career goals. We're going to talk about family goals. We're going to talk about friend goals. So setting achievable goals. I'm excited about this tonight because when we talk about goals, it lets us know that we are growing, we are evolving, we have an intentionality set. I'm excited about this.
Yeah.
Let's get this conversation going. So the intent tonight, and I want to be respectful of the time, is 7:47. So we're officially getting started at 7:47. I've governed myself for 1 hour tonight, 45 minutes of content and about 15 minutes of Q&A. Respectfully, let's try to keep that there. My partner is a little, fatigued tonight from exerting herself, and we want to be honorable to that. So Shonda, let's dive right into the conversation.
This is all in the same vein of my love language. I love setting achievable goals.
Yes.
So for me, I'm a why person, but also I'm someone who likes completing tasks, right? I'm a list maker, right? I'm a goal setter, and there is nothing in the world that makes me feel good as much as being able to put a line through something that I put on a list to say that I've completed that task.
Absolutely. It's so rewarding.
It is. Even it goes even to the way that I work at work. So we create our work in certain ticklers and stuff. And the way that I set mine up is so that whenever I complete one patient, it goes away. It goes out of my tickler, so that I know that I've completed, I've touched it, I've done something to it. So setting achievable goals, I think, is such a healthy way to move throughout life. So are we going to focus on professionally? Are we talking about
We're gonna dip. We're gonna dip. We're gonna dip. We're gonna dip. I don't want to have a boundary tonight. I want to be a free spirit tonight. I want to be a free spirit. Because I really want everybody to be able to get something from this conversation. Everybody that watches may not be married. Everybody that watches may not have a business. Everybody that watches may not have a boyfriend or a girlfriend. So we're just we're gonna touch a little bit of all facets. And you said something, and I heard you say that, we talked about it being rewarding. And what I heard you say indirectly in your workflow process was that you have a systematic organization set up where you're able, where you're able to kind of check off on what's to be done and what has been done. And like we said, it's so rewarding when you get ready to go back and look at that list, whether it's buy a house, search for that soulmate, or let that searchmate soul for you. Do that inner work so you can be ready for that soulmate.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of things that I want to talk with that. So what are some of the things, let's talk in the vein of, we both are married. Let's start there first. Let's just get marriage out the way.
Okay.
It's more complex, and let's just talk about that real quick, and we'll move on to whatever's next. So whoever gave the stars, I greatly appreciate it tonight. Continue to like, tag, and share for us, please, as we continue this conversation. And those of you that may not be friends with Shonda, go over to LaShonda Stevens page. Follow her. You can go and watch previous lives and also support her with stars as well. Sorry for that, Shonda. Just wanted to get the housekeeping out of the way.
No problem. And thank you, Miss Terry. That was Miss Terry that sent those stars.
Thank you, Miss Terry.
Okay. So go ahead. So in marriage, this is such an important conversation, Rashonda, because I saw recently, actually, in the past few months, I'm a TikTok watcher. I find a lot of stuff very valuable on TikTok. And it says that your family should have a mission. Your family should have, certain things that you want to be able to accomplish. Because, what is your goal as a family? Is your goal to just be married and have kids and that's it? Are you serving the community? Are you serving each other? Are you serving your children? What are your goals? What do you want to accomplish? A lot of people don't like to think of marriage as a business, or that's something outside of romantic feelings. But marriage can and should be, I think, also looked at as a business, because it is a merging of two people, two finances, two, even it's two sets of goals, right? So then when you get together, what are you trying to accomplish as a unit, So in order to do that, you've got to create lists. What do you want to do? So, okay, so you've had the wedding of your dreams, right? What are some things that you want to do? So for me, in order to set achievable goals, it's a conversation with my spouse. What do we hope to do, and when do we hope to do it, right? So we got to set our goals. So that means we got to create a list. So what do we want to do within the first 5 years of our marriage? What do we want to do, for the next, 10 to 12 or however long, years of our marriage? And are those things achievable? within that time frame. So that requires us to have deeper conversations. So creating lists for me helps me, and I have lists for everything. So not only about like the goals for the family itself, but me as a wife and me as a mother. If I'm going into the office, okay, I got to pick up London from school at a certain time. When we get home, I got to work another hour and change to make sure that I get my full 8 hours for the day. I know I need to take something out. I know for me to cook. I know that London needs to get homework done. I know that I need to put some time into my business. Like all of these things. I'm telling y'all, I have sometimes 3 and 4 sets of lists for myself. It's basically the main list of things that I need to accomplish that day. Then when I move into like my business mode, okay, here's the things that I need to do for my business. Here's the list of things that I need to do for London. Here's a list of things that I need to do for, me as a mom, me as a wife and as a partner. So it's creating lists.
Right.
What about you?
So I concur with basically everything you said. You've talked about family, you've talked about community, you've talked about marriage, you've talked about creating a list for your marriage. Now we're going to stay in the facet of marriage just for a second. I wholeheartedly agree with creating a list as being something achievable. But even when you're creating that list, you know your partner. You know the boundaries that your partner have. You know the inconsistencies. They know yours.
That's key.
You both know your limitations. And so that's where I want to kind of stick in that vein for a minute. Don't set goals that you know you're not able to reach yet. I'm not saying they're not obtainable.
Yeah.
But it's almost like trying to run before you walk, from crawling to running. So you want to be able to walk, then you want to be able to crawl, then walk. So one thing that my husband and I did prior to marriage, we had different styles of communicating. And he knew that. So did I. But I was just in the moment. I was responding based on however he would give the dialogue and vice versa. And obviously we both knew that was an area that we needed to work on. But he took the initiative and said, hey, let's go to counseling to learn how to effectively communicate. It was the best thing I ever did. Because I learned at that time we had different styles of love language. Yeah. And so it made it hard for him to, I won't say comprehend, but to come into agreement with my style of love language. And it made it hard for me without understanding it.
Yeah.
Okay. And so we needed to identify it, and we hadn't done that all these years. Yeah. Okay, we had never done that. But we were ready to take our relationship to the next level because we knew that we were preparing for marriage, and we knew that if we wanted to be married, that we had to work on that area specifically because it had hurt us in our past. Yeah. So we were very intentional with getting that, and honestly, counseling has been very, very helpful to us because now we don't feel the need to scream and argue on the things that we want to get our point across to, because we realize that yelling and arguing is not going to change the circumstance. Right. or even the delivery of how you give somebody something will determine how they comprehend it and how they receive it. Yeah. And I think
it's not productive it's not productive if it's not in their love language or if it's not in their learning style even.
Correct. So, for couples and married individuals, if you have not taken the time, and I mean, I probably know that there are probably couples probably married 30-something years. They can tell you how their couple, how their significant other, their spouse would respond to certain things. but that's still not necessarily the love language. So understanding the language of an individual that you're planning to make a life partner as it pertains to marriage is key. Because you'll be thinking one thing and then you'll always set yourself up to feel like either you're getting your feelings hurt, you're being overlooked, but their response level is different from yours, and you have to understand that. And we
Yeah.
as women, we are emotional creatures, so we expect them to respond like we do, and they're not.
Right. Right. Yep.
That's one thing I would say as far as family, as far as marriage is concerned. Another thing with marriage, you made some key points. See what are your goals in 1 to 5 years, 10 to 12 years, because in times past, I have not set intentions in prior relationships and not set goals in prior relationships, and I'll look 5 years later and we're still stuck in that same spot we were in 5 years ago in various areas. So now you
Yeah.
feel stagnant, but nobody's setting an intentionality to move to the next level.
Yes. Yes. Like, what are we doing? Like, what is the purpose of this?
Yeah, yeah. So I think that as far as marriage, those can be very key. And even in marriage, knowing how to compartmentalize family time from you and your spouse time. You can incorporate the kids, but there must be time spent alone. It must happen. It's no way
Yeah.
around it. Because you use that time for bonding, you use that time for, next
Yeah.
level planning, you use that time for intimacy, conversation wise, sexual wise. So there's a lot of different things that you need that alone time without the kids, without distractions. You can set couple dates and things like that, but set an intentionality to have that time with your significant other alone. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
And
that's key.
let's stay right there, because I like you talking about being realistic when you set the goals for your family, which would include your alone time with your spouse, your even the family as a unit, including the kids, and also maybe you want to put some time with just you and the kids alone, like me and my daughter, and then her and her dad,
Right, right.
and then also some time for myself, right?
Key, key.
And so when we're talking about setting achievable goals, we're talking about being realistic. If you know that your spouse has a job where they work second or third shift and you're on the first shift, it may not be feasible to do like a date night during the week. It might have to be on the weekend. It might have to be some alternative time that you'll have to. Let me see. Is
Somebody
this?
says they're hearing the echo.
Tell me if that's better.
Say something again.
Is that better? Are y'all still hearing the echo?
On my end, and I guess it could be because we're on live, it doesn't seem overly on my end. I don't know what the
Okay.
viewers are, how they're receiving it.
Somebody post in the comments. Let me see. Let me take these earbuds out too.
Y'all continue to like, tag, and share for us, please.
Okay, let me know if this sounds better, y'all.
So whatever you just did, the humming came in.
Okay, so it's back. Okay.
Now, Mr. Leslie is saying, no, that's fine, but I hear the humming.
Well, if you can hear it, then that means.
Mr. Leslie says, fine now. Excuse me, does anybody else hear the humming? So we're going to wait on Shonda to come back. It looks like she's having some technical issues. I really appreciate those of you that are continuing to give us stars. I greatly appreciate it. Continue to like, tag, and share for us, please. Okay, Miss Terry, I heard the humming too. I think she's going to go out and come back in. Thank you, Erica. and I'm going to share with a few others as well. Y'all come on in. Just going down my list here, sharing with some more people. Y'all come on in. All right. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Waiting on Shonda. So while we're waiting on Shonda to come back, what are some of the things that you all have goals set or you struggle with setting goals? Shonda's back, so I'm going to go ahead and bring her back in. What are some of the things that you all struggle with setting goals, or you'll set them and you're unable to achieve them?
Okay.
That's much better.
Okay.
All right, perfect. I was just asking the audience to share some of the things that they have goals set for that has been, I don't really want to use unattainable, but at the moment, unattainable at the moment. What are some of those things? And while they are tagging and sharing, thank you to those that are continuing to like, tag, and share. We greatly appreciate it. Before we get off of marriage, is there anything else, Shonda, that you think may be valuable for marriage?
I was just talking about being realistic about, your list or your goals or anything that you want to try to achieve. You do have to work around your partner, right? And you have to work. I loved that you said limitations, because there might be limitations for your partner. We all have different learning styles. We all have different love languages, right? And so you want to play more into your partner's love language, right? So my love language is acts of service, but
Yes,
that's not my partner's love language. So for my husband, he should be doing things that serve me. For him, his is physical touch. So I need to be doing things that serve that part of it, right? So when we're setting goals and we're setting, things that we want to be able to achieve, we have to keep our partner's love language, learning styles, and limitations in mind when we're doing all of those things. Else, the goals can then become unrealistic and unachievable.
absolutely. And it leaves you in a place of disappointment because you've set an unrealistic expectation.
That's right. That's right. And nobody wants to be disappointed, right? I'm going to tell you a perfect example. In the beginning of our relationship, not necessarily in our marriage, but in our relationship, I come from the church. So I just had this idea in my mind of what a husband represents, right? I had an idea. It was a whole list. These are all the things that my husband is going to bring to the table. These are a whole list of things that my husband should know he want to do. So if you're in partner with me, because I was a good girl, I did this, this, and this, blah 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 blah. So when we decide we're going to get married, I expect this. Not everybody grows up like you. Not everybody has the same experiences as you. Not everybody is brought up in the same way to have the same expectations as you. So
Absolutely.
whenever you don't express, and I love how you keep talking about discussing with your partner, because we're gonna, this first part of what we're talking about is marriage. I used to have unexpressed expectations of my husband, and then I would get mad when he wouldn't do those things, and I had never told him about it. So then I was setting myself up for disappointment every time, because I'm saying, well, the church told me this is what a husband does. And you know what I mean? And I'm coming home like, but where's and it wasn't.
Well, here's the thing. We learned early on in the conversations with the Shondas that there were questions that we should have asked early on. And I think a lot of us missed the mark there.
Yes.
But I'm on my second rodeo, so to speak, with marriage. So I'm very intentional about passing in the areas that I failed previously, and not knowing where I was going, not setting an intention, not setting realistic goals, not effectively communicating were all of the things that kept me bound in my former relationship. And I didn't want this to look nothing like that. Okay. And so I believe that the little gems that we dropped pertaining to marriage tonight, you said something that was very sweet. I love it. It was priceless. You said unexpressed.
Yes.
Unexpressed. Unexpressed means you didn't even tell the man what you desired or what you needed, but you had this false imagination that he would just come and run like a knight in shining armor and give you what you need. And what I'm learning from men is they need to hear from us what we need.
Right.
And we're in expectation for them to be like us, which is anticipate our needs. Now, in some areas, and if a man is really intentional, and if he's really seeking to please his wife, and my husband's pretty good about this, they will do things that you might not ask for, that they know you like. One of the things is my husband came back from, and this may be small to somebody, but my husband knows that I love white salt and vinegar. And he went to the store and bought them. And as soon as we get off of this live, I'm gonna chop them down.
Listen. No, that's not a small thing. That's a huge thing, because it's something that lets you know that they have been either listening or paying attention. That's right. And so I think sometimes we want people to read our minds about what we want. And I'm going to tell y'all, that's a very unhealthy way of thinking.
Dangerous.
Yes, it'll be nice when you don't have to express certain things. That comes with time. That comes with learning your partner. But in the beginning stages, you have to speak. You have to have discussions. And that's why one of our first things that we did when we got on Conversations with the Shondas was talk about things I wish I knew about life, right? And we came up with so many lists. The list was for dating. The list was for, before we get engaged, before we get married, before we have kids. It's all of these things that we now, as married women, can look back in retrospect and say, if I'd have known that it was going to be like this right here, I would have asked my partner this.
Right.
So and not that it would have changed my mind on the decision to move forward in the relationship, but at least if I would have asked that question, then I could know that that's something on the list. That's something on the list that you could be working on, that I could be working on.
I got to stop for a minute. Keila said, please publish that list. We need to get that list out.
Yeah, we do.
I promise that in December, we will focus on several lists for you all. But when we move to our new platform, we do have lists that we're compiling. So we want to make sure, because we cannot have these conversations and not give the tools. It's pointless. It's pointless.
Yes, I'm telling you, and I know that we do have people in our audience, since September that, are in different arenas and different levels in their life than what we are. And so we are only speaking on what we have been through and what we've found to be, and what we have found to be successful now,
Right.
And where we may have even struggled a little bit, and it's not until some time has gone by where we were like, you know what?
For me, it wasn't a maybe struggle. I did struggle. I did struggle. Matter of fact, I struggled so much. I had a failed marriage. Okay, so let's put the cards on the table. I had a failed marriage, and so I know a little bit. I know a little bit by now.
Right. Right. And see, I would, and I look at things a little bit different at 43 than I would have at 23. I wouldn't have even considered your over 10-year marriage to be a failure. I
got a little convicted in my spirit after I said it. I honestly did. I really can't call it a failure. 3 beautiful kids came out of that union. And my ex-husband is not a bad guy. He just wasn't the right man for me.
Right.
But with that being said, there was a lot of lessons that came out of that was necessary for now. They were essential for right here, right now.
Yes. And the reason that you could be where you are in your marriage today is because of the lessons that you learned in the first situation.
Absolutely.
So Keila just said it. Failures are healthy. They are. They're the only times that we really learn. Okay.
Failures are catalysts to success.
Yes. Yes. And some people walk their lives avoiding failure.
Right.
You should live your life not looking to fail, but at least looking to learn lessons, right? Okay, so I know that I can't put my hand on that pot when I turn the eye off because it's still hot. I know that I shouldn't raise my voice when I'm talking to my husband because he shuts down. I know that I shouldn't compare my child to my nieces and nephews because she's in a different situation than they ever will be in, right? Like there are certain things that you just learn from bumping your head a couple of times or from, running into situations. In no way can you ever avoid failing. In no way can you ever avoid making mistakes. That's what we're here to do. And in actuality, you're going to soar once you make the most mistakes.
Keila said something that just quickened in me. Keila said, fail forward. Keila said, fail forward. Because that's exactly, guy, I feel you. Because that's exactly what you're doing. You're failing, but it's taking you forward. Your failure is taking you forward. And so, boy, that'll preach right there, Keila. But, fail forward. That's all I know to say about that. That's it, and that's all.
Listen, and won't God keep taking you through the same thing until you learn that lesson? Won't He keep putting you through that same cycle until I told you the first time, okay, you ain't learned, here you go again. Did you learn this time? Did you pick it up? Oh no, you didn't. Here you go again.
You're gonna keep getting that test till you pass it.
That's right. And so when you find yourself in a cyclical event, then maybe there is something about that situation or that test that you haven't learned.
Come on.
And you need to really think deeper about what it is.
Correct. And I'm going to tell you, in the times that we're in now, and I don't know why I'm shifting here, but I feel the need to say it. In the times that we're in now, we don't have time, and I'm talking to 30-year-olds and above. We don't have time to be immature in our processing and our mindset right long through here. We can't afford to be immature. We can't even afford to be immature right now.
Emotionally immature. Listen. Y'all, this is probably the new buzz phrase of 2022, but emotional intelligence is something that people talk about a lot. But what Rashonda, I think, is talking about is being emotionally mature. You know what? I know it feels good for me to yell. It feels good for me to cuss somebody out. It feels good for me to put my hands on it or to tell them off. But you're going to be back triggered again when that person does the same thing Because we was just talking about triggers, right?
I wrote it down, Shonda. Look at the word right there. I wrote it down. I did. I wrote it down. I wrote it down. Because while you were talking, it all is going right back to triggers. You got to have some self-control.
That's right. And a
It's
lot of
key.
us don't. Rashonda, a lot of us have not been given the tools to manage our triggers. And it's not that you won't ever be triggered again. It's just that how you deal with
How
it
you
when,
respond.
once you have been triggered.
Right, right. And there's a lot, and this is a no judgment zone because I've been a single mother and I know the pain points in being a single mother. And it gets rough. Just realistically speaking, it gets rough. You've even said in prior conversations, Shonda, and just kind of put me back into remembrance. Everybody is not even in a financial place that you and I are in. It doesn't make them less than. As a matter of fact, it causes us to have a sense of empathy when we have these conversations because we understand that. And honestly, I want to see our people thrive. And the only way we can thrive, we have to set an intention. And that's
Yes.
across the board. We have to want change. And then when we want change, we have to sit down. Scripture tells us to write the vision and make it plain. Write those things down that you, even in within yourself, if you feel like 2023 need to be a year of just you and about you, write down those things that you want to work in on you. If you want to become emotionally mature in 2023 or start, because it's a process, if you want to start, because I get triggered, I still get triggered, but I'm very much so better than I used to be. I'm very much so better than I used to be. But I had to start somewhere. And so figure those things out, line those things up. If you know you want to make more money next year, or you need to pick up a second job, or you want another career level altogether, start doing those things that's going to put you in position to do that. Whether you need to get, somebody to help you upgrade your resume, or you just do it yourself. Whether it be, Shonda, prime example, I don't know if you feel like sharing this, maybe I shouldn't even say this, but did you want to talk to them about the circumstance on your job when we talked about that and what happened as a result and where you are, or not really?
Oh yeah, we can of course. So you're talking about the promotion or the position and
Yeah,
everything.
let's talk about the
Okay,
promotion.
so yeah, absolutely. I think that's it's a good thing. So maybe about last year this time, I was offered the opportunity to become trainer for my department. And so it was end of the year, right? And so they had already supposedly started budgeting they had already submitted their budget for the next year. So it was like, okay, if you want to do this, we want you to do this, but you're going to have to stay at your same pay until March. So for a period of about, what is that, 4 or 5 months, I had to do a new position, do a new thing a new role without getting the compensation. So I had a conversation with Rashonda and one of our other friends, and I was like, I need more money. If I'm going to be doing this, this, and this, I need more money. And so, I spoke to a few other people, and they were like, well, maybe you should just not accept the position if it does not immediately come with money. And I just remembered something, not only, I remember what Charlemagne the God said, and he said sometimes accepting a new position without compensation can send you to another level. And it was right in lockstep with what Rashonda had said to me. Now, I had just seen a podcast where he was talking about that. And when I talked to my friend Rashonda and our other friend, and she said, no, Rashonda, you could take that position because you would be in the role, you're just not making the money. You could take that position and put it on your resume and go somewhere else and get money, more money, because you have the title. And sometimes we forget that, like, a position can take you to farther heights than money can, right? So I did that. And I'm going to tell you, I have never regretted the decision to accept the position without the money up front first, because not only did I get the promotion, the money did come, and it came when they said it was going to come. Not only that, I've gotten an award this year after that. And not only that, I've gotten the respect and reputation in my company as someone who's a team player, someone who, you know, is an impact award winner, is what the name of the award that I got, impact award. So that means I'm someone who impacted the company, and it came with some money, me winning that award too. So not only did they give me the money when they said they was going to give it to me, they retroed it back. So that all of the prior times that I was not being compensated in the moment, on that next check, I got the retro pay from the position, because and really all it was is they just wanted to see whether I was capable of doing it and whether the process would be successful. And sometimes you do need to do, you know, you need to get your certification. You need to show people that you can do something. You need to, you know, put your money where your mouth is, or put your action where your mouth is. You know, because a lot of us do a lot of talking and say, hey, I can do that. And then they put you in the role and they then gave you the money, and then you're not fulfilling what they wanted you to do. So they tested me a little bit. They was like, okay, you know, we're going to see if you can do this. And if you can do this, then we're going to hook a sister up. And they hooked the sister up, trust me.
Well, I wanted you to share that story because that story had a lot of significance to what we're talking about tonight. But I want to piggyback just a little bit. I would have never been able to give you that feedback and encourage you to take that role without pay had I not done it myself. So in my corporate job, I did the same exact thing. I started off in the authorizations department, which was a provided forward-facing role, taking calls, incoming calls, inbound calls, with providers and staff wanting to do authorizations. Well, I got promoted to what we call a senior, which was putting me over all of my other colleagues. I was like a team lead, if you will. And then I became a subject matter expert in my area. And I was a little disheartened by not getting the money, but I had a bigger idea in mind. And so I figured that if I take this role, it gave me the leverage I needed to get promoted. And I'm gonna tell you, and I have at least 5 coworkers, at least 5 coworkers that are Facebook friends. So God be my witness. If I be a lie, they'll tell it. But I got promoted twice in 1 year within the company. And this last increase that I got, I made over $30,000 more than I originally was making. When I look back at my compensation history, from 2016, which is when I started with the company, up until 2022, I've had 5 big raises to the fact where, and so, you know, I don't know why God is having me to say that now and for you to share that, Shonda, but I just want to encourage somebody tonight that if you're in a role and, you know, you're thinking about the fact we're in a recession and you need more money, if your goal is to get outside of that company or to even excel in that company internally, I encourage you, get that under your belt now, because Shonda even created like job aids and all of this stuff for her job.
Sure did.
Which will allow her to put that on her resume and be able to say that she actually can do job aids or share not PowerPoint, SharePoint.
But PowerPoints too. But
PowerPoint too.
Yeah.
Right. And so it expanded your resume. And so yep. I don't know why I felt the need to share that and say that, and we share that. But for somebody that, I'm sure that's for somebody, if you see a position on your job or with externally, prepare for it. Get in preparation for it. Take those courses, or take that promotion that might not pay, because somebody's watching you. If they give you that increase, whether it be non-paid, they're going to be watching. So I encourage you all, do what you need to do in that regard. You said a lot of good.
Can I just say before we leave off of that? So also, I acknowledge my privilege in that I didn't have to take the increase immediately because I have a husband. I got somebody who's helping me, and we were all right either way it go. Whether I get the increase or not, we're able to pay our bills, right?
Yes.
So, but if you are someone who's not in my situation, right, it's just you, and you find that you need to be somewhere else, like you need to move to a different apartment or a different house, it's going to cost you more money to live where you need to live. Maybe you want to put your kids in a certain school and whatnot, and you need the money right away. In no way am I telling you go ahead and take that position with no pay. Find you something that's going to work for you. My privilege is that I'm married and I got consistent income coming regardless. So that's just my privilege. But if you're not in that, then you have to weigh all of the options. So for me, it was a simple thing. I can absolutely, wait on the pay because it doesn't impact my day to day.
Absolutely. That's a great point, Shonda. I'm glad you injected that. That's a great point. And you may be somebody that have a position and is making it with what you're doing now, but you just want more because you got bigger goals, you got bigger dreams, you got bigger aspirations.
And
yeah, so, and there's nothing wrong with that. So get in preparation, increase, you got to prepare for increase. You can't anticipate it and don't prepare for it. So
that's so good.
Yeah.
That's so good, Rashonda.
Yeah. And that's where I'm at now. And that's what I want to do for December, because I know my business is about to evolve, but I don't have all of the things in place that I needed to. And I got a little anxiety going on about it. But I know that if I just take the time, sit down and get a onboarding from start to finish process on what needs to happen, it could be executed. Yeah, that was good, Shonda. So we talked about focusing on being more emotionally mature, moving forward. We talked about setting unrealistic expectations and even unexpressed expectations. So, make sure you communicate your expectations, whether it be to friends, whether it be to family, whether it be to your spouse, whether it be to your boss. All of these things can flow throughout any facet of your life. So Shonda, let's talk about family, and then we'll go to community real quick. It's about 8:31. We're going to talk about family. Since we've been in, we talked about marriage and all this other stuff. Let's just get family out the way, and then we'll talk about community real quick. So what are some of the things, and let's just look back in hindsight a little bit, because these last 2 years have been challenging for a lot of people. COVID-19 has happened. There's been a lot of sickness and disease. There's been an inflation on products and services and goods. There has been countless deaths. We are in a recession. There are some people that are homeless. There are some people that are displaced. There are some people that, are looking for a job. So we got all kinds of things happening here. Speak to a little bit collectively or individually, however you see fit, some key points you can give for 2023 when we talk about family and what we can do to kind of help ease right now.
Well, you got to think about who your immediate family is, right? Like, I think all of us have like extended family and things like that. But as far as like setting goals and achievable goals and things like that, you got to think, let's say, you realize that your family member may need a little bit of help, right? Are you going to go into debt for your extended family? Are you going to overextend yourself for your extended family, or are you, or do you save that for the people that are like in your household? When I say immediate family, I'm talking about your husband, your children, your wife, anybody that's living with you, even if it's some family members that live with you, that's your immediate family, right? And then you have your extended family or people who live away from you. So if you,
Are your siblings considered extended family?
yeah, because if they don't live with you.
Right. So with that understanding, and it was kind of like a rhetorical question, but when you talk about extended family, what if there's a life altering or life changing circumstance that we're the eldest daughters, right? Let's say, for instance, something happens in the family that could change the trajectory of one of your family members if you don't make an informed decision. And you might not have, I don't know if you, maybe whether you got the financial ability or not is not even in the question. You know a need to be met and you need to meet it and you need to do by any means necessary, figure something out as an eldest daughter. What do you do?
Well, in my therapy journey, I'm learning that it is not my sole responsibility to take care of things, even though I have been groomed to think that I'm the fixer. I'm the person that everybody comes to. I'm the person that is responsible for making sure everything is okay.
But what if it was
I can
something like
reject that.
really, really bad? What if it was something like really, really bad to the fact where, you know, one of your family members, if you don't make an informed decision, they on the street, like, and you got a house, and I mean, like you, or I mean, something dealing with the kids, and you just need to make a decision. Like, what do you? I heard you say, if they're not in your house, but what if this is something that's like it could put a big damper on circumstances, not only in your family, your immediate, your household, but in your extended family as well.
You got to give me an example of that, because for me, somebody outside of my household making bad decisions and creating crises in their bad decisions is not my problem to work out for them.
So what if it was something like, you know, I don't even know what I want to say. Let's say, for instance, for some reason, um, I don't really know what to say. Why would a child be taken from a house? I don't know. Somebody call CPS or Child Protective Services, whatever the case is, or something. And
They
you
coming to stay with me. They coming to stay with me.
Yeah, I would think, because that's my thing, because that's life altering.
Yeah.
That could damage my nieces, my nephews, my aunts, my uncles, my sisters, my brothers. The whole family could be affected. And so here's the thing: what if you're not in a position, but as an eldest, they're looking for you to figure it out?
I'm not going to figure out the situation. I will help. So when I say they will come stay with me, they will come stay with me temporarily until the
Mm.
situation gets worked out by other people. See, that's one of the things I think that we don't do enough of in our families too. Like, we hold certain people responsible for other people's lives. And I'm only responsible for my life. I'm only responsible for me and what I'm even limited on how responsible I am to my daughter. I'm responsible for her until she turns 18, right? I'm only
Mm-hmm.
responsible for her till then, and then she's responsible for herself. But of course, I'm going to help her. So I think sometimes that we put undue pressure on ourselves. Hey, Dr. Shanette, we put undue pressure on ourselves to be able to go and, be a superwoman or a superman to situations that don't require us to be. And that is definitely the case when it comes to eldest daughters is that we end up trying to save the family or save this. And I think the best thing that we can do, especially as eldest daughters, is empower people to save themselves.
That's good. What if it was your mother or grandmother that needed, you know, companion care or some type of caregiver, you know, services or whatever? And eldest daughter, and the reason why I'm asking this is because I took care of my grandfather. I have other cousins, but I don't know if I felt by default that I needed to be the one because my grandfather raised me, or would anybody else have been willing? I don't know if anybody else was asked. Nobody else never like ran up to the plate, so I assumed the position. Um,
And
in a
we often
caregiver
assume the
role.
position, Rashonda, as eldest daughters. We often assume the position, but again, as I'm going through my therapy journey, what I need to do sometime is delay in trying to fix it for people that haven't figured out how to fix it for themselves. So, and that is quite a task for me.
That and it's probably going to be quite a task for those people that we need to gently say no to as well, because we've always been saying yes. And so bridging the gap in their understanding that I'm not obligated, but I will help, I think it could be misunderstood as, you know, one, you think you too good, two, you ain't got time for your family, three,
And they
you
do.
know.
And they do think like that. Yep, go ahead. Listen out. You got more fingers because it's all the things that you about to name is going to happen. But the difference is you cannot care about that because sometimes people make decisions based on a safety net. Sometimes they make decisions knowing that if I go out here and screw this up, my sister or my brother or my cousin or my mama or my daddy gonna save me.
Mm.
And I'm gonna tell you one of the best lessons my mother ever told me or showed me is I'm not coming to rescue you all the time. You're gonna have to figure it out. And when you figure out that some things can be figure outable, then you will figure it out.
I'm a product of figuring it out because I had my grandparents for the longest, really, I'm gonna say crippling my brother and I, financially crippling us. And I use crippling because in the moment it helped us for the financial need, what we had for the moment, but it didn't help us long term. And the Holy Spirit just gave me, you could teach a man how to fish and you'll feed him for a lifetime. But if you give him a fish, you only feed him for a day. So I needed my grandmother to give me the tools and the resources to be able to go out there and be able to sustain for myself. But she
Yep.
died. And then my granddaddy died. And then I was left to put my big girl panties on and figure
Yep.
this shit out. Okay? For real.
Yep.
Figure it out. And so, and I think people need tangible, um, suggestive steps. They need suggestive steps because sometimes people don't even know where to get started. You understand what I'm saying? They're like, well, I know I need to do X, Y, Z, but where do I even begin? And it can get overwhelming. In 2023, I urge you all that need to give the gift of no, give it freely.
And if you are not yet quite comfortable with saying no, let me give you some suggestions. Maybe, if I may, Rashonda, and this gonna sound a little strange, but if I may, here are some suggestions if you have a problem saying no. Move 2.5 hours away from your family.
You You love to say that.
Number 2, don't answer your phone all the time. Number 3, leave them on red, especially if they send a message that says, hey, can you call me? Leave them on red. Number 4, blame it on your spouse. Oh, I'm sorry. My husband said we can't do that.
That's a good one.
But I promise you, after putting them through the test of them figuring it out, they will get the impression. Now, they may call you everything but a child of God. They may even feel entitled to your help and your support. And here's the thing, I support you mentally and emotionally. I cannot support you physically and financially. And see, for me, it was a double task, because not only am I the oldest, but I'm also the last to have kids. So sometimes people think that because you're single, that you won't have anything better else to do with your money than help them.
Talk about it. Talk about it.
And for the longest time, you know, I succumbed to that. I no longer feel guilty. I don't feel bad or nothing like that, because I've been put out here in the world to fend for myself. And so I have to allow people to fend for themselves as well. Now, here's the thing. I'm not sitting here trying to say that in all circumstances, you know, I say no. Sometimes I have to make a way for certain things. Like my mom, I'm going to make a way. But even that is limited. Even that is limited.
Right. That's great, Shonda. We are at 8:45. I know we said about 8:47. I want to allow a few minutes for us to go back and read some of the comments, but I just want to touch on our on community.
It's so good.
It's
so good.
It is. It really is. What are some of those things that we can do when we talk about community achievable goals? You know, in times past, in previous conversations, I talked about, you know, connecting with support groups in whatever niche or area that you need support in. That is one thing that you can do community-wise. You can utilize your job. Sometimes your job may have volunteer opportunities for you to go and help in the community. If your job doesn't have any opportunities like that, one of the things that I've done and want to continue to do here is connect with homeless shelters. You know, you always can connect with homeless shelters. Even if it's just having a simple conversation, or you may want to adopt somebody. I don't personally celebrate the holidays anymore, but for Christmas, you may want to go and adopt a female or a male for those males, or even, you know, you may even want to adopt the whole family for Christmas. You know, they have the toy drives that you can do during the holidays. I wanted to do a coat drive this year, but I got so caught up with October and I didn't do any planning in this month. And December is literally tomorrow. Well, one more day. So
in a couple of days, yeah.
Right. We got one more day left in November. And so I really, really, really wanted to do a coat drive. That might be something that we can incorporate and do next year together, Shonda, and kind of set some coat drives and maybe donate to a couple of kids or something. But there's so many needs out there in the community. And even if you don't have the financial ability to support in the community, your your service would be greatly appreciated. And I'm gonna tell you, no donation will be too small or too big. You'll be surprised at how far that money goes when everybody collectively gives. It could be $1, and if 100 people gave $1, you just got $100. That might do something, you know, for a child for Christmas in some type of way, or fed a family.
Yeah, and may I submit that, you know, as far as the community, I was, maybe start with your own family. You may have some elderly people in your family that need a little bit of help keeping their grass mowed,
Great
or,
idea.
it's getting cold. And so they need some help, making sure that, all of the windows in their home and, are secured, and that, maybe they have they need wood and stuff like, you know what I mean? Like anything
Right.
you could do, especially
Right.
during the holidays, because as you guys will probably know, the holidays are like a hard season for a lot of elderly people because they've lost so much,
Wow.
they've lost a lot of people. And so just going and sitting with somebody,
I
but
just
also
wrote that down.
keep it in mind with the topic that we're talking about, setting achievable goals. Don't overwhelm yourself either.
Right.
Even if it's
That's
just one thing that you're able to do for somebody else, give yourself grace in knowing that you did that, right? So
Or stop right there for a minute. Or if you are the one in need of help, reach out to agencies and places that can help. So you
that's
don't
right.
always have to be the giver, you could be the recipient as well. So wherever you're at in
Yes.
this season, this is a no judgment zone. I have had to
Yep.
get plenty of support and help. I have been on plenty food stamps, and I'm not ashamed to
Right.
say so. And because
Right.
if you need it when you need it, you use it when you need it, and do whatever
That's
you need
right.
to do.
That's so
And I'll
good.
go back on it
Absolutely.
if I need to.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen, let's normalize asking for what you want, asking for what you need, asking for
Right,
support, but also
right.
in the times where you don't need it, supporting other people and other things at their times, right?
Absolutely.
But not to the point where you are um, um,
Overexerting yourself and your
overexerting
finances.
yourself or jeopardizing what you have going on, or over, all of those things. So make sure that
Absolutely.
it's within your
You're
capacity to do.
right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Great point, Shonda. Absolutely. Um, you took what I was going to say about the elderly, because while you was talking, I was writing down about the elderly. But just piggybacking off of that, we're heading into the colder season right now, and so even with the elderly, just making sure you do wellness checks with them. Those that may not have the ability to have proper heating, and even
Yep.
checking on those that may even still be using kerosene heaters, just making
Yep.
sure that, they are safe. Um,
That's right. And I
and
would even
even,
say, going by, because I can't tell you how many people I talk to, and I can hear their smoke alarm or their carbon monoxide thing beeping in the
going on.
background. Go check on your elderly people. Go check on your regular people, because it might be just some woman who don't know how to change it, right? Who don't know how to put another battery in it. Go and change it, because these things do happen in this season. Where people have something going on, some leak is happening, and they don't recognize it, and then they end up, falling sleep in the house and passing away
Absolutely.
in their sleep.
Absolutely. Thank you, Dr. Shanette, for those 100 stars. I greatly appreciate to all of you tonight that have not found it robbery to support us by giving us stars tonight. We greatly appreciate it. Those of you that have been tagging and sharing throughout the broadcast, we greatly appreciate it. We're having a firebomb conversation tonight pertaining to setting achievable goals. Sean and I have touched all facets. We've talked about family goals, community goals, marriage goals. Maybe we could talk about friendship goals real quick, Shonda. We're right at 8:51. I think it's safe to say that if we stay until 9, that'll be about an hour and 13 minutes. So we'll be still
Okay.
within reason. Um,
Yeah.
and just recapping again, we talked about family goals, community goals, marriage goals. We have not talked about business goals. We can touch that real quick, but I want to go into, what did I just say just now? I forgot.
Oh Lord.
Oh, friendship.
Friendship, yeah, yeah, and I did touch a little bit on business goals. For me, it's creating lists, right? I'm going
You
to
did
talk to
say that.
somebody. I'm going to talk to somebody in my field, or who has a business, and kind of find out what made them successful. What are the steps that they took to make themselves successful? And I'm going to write those down, and then I'm going to figure out how to achieve those things, because it's a whole process. And I think it was Miss Terry or Miss Celestine, one of them was just talking about the process, and it is. We gotta get real comfortable with the process. Sometimes we want things like the snap of a finger, but sometimes it requires us to build a process, follow the process, and repeat until our goals are met.
Absolutely.
So setting short-term goals and long-term goals, I think, would be a more realistic thing to do.
Absolutely. I wholeheartedly, I'm a strong believer in setting short-term and long-term goals. The short-term goals, obviously, they're more attainable, they're more sustainable, and they're quicker to reach. Your long-term goals may take a little bit more planning. Like you said, creating that list. So you may need to get a little bucket list and go down. While we're in the vein of business, right now, I just want to plug this in, and Shonda, feel free to talk about your business right here as well. Um, those that are in business or those that aspire to start a business, I encourage you to understand and learn business credit. If you need some help with that, I do have some free tools that I can assist you with. I also do have a class that is coming out. I got connected today by accident, and it's with my real estate instructor with trade lines. If anybody is interested in boosting your business credit with a trade line opportunity to help hike your business credit instead of waiting 6 to 9 months to excel it, there is an opportunity where you can get trade lines, and those people that may want to partake in that, I do have some resources, and I can connect you with a contact for that as well. And as we embark upon December and moving into the 2023 space, Shonda and I are moving into another platform for 2023. We are extremely excited about that. We have been diligently behind the scenes having pre-production meetings. I'm very proud of us because the reason why I chose this topic tonight, and honestly, I'm gonna toot your horn right here, Shonda, because for my last 2 Tuesdays, Shonda has picked my topic. I've been so busy that I haven't even had the time to focus and think about what the topic would be. She talked about the topic on triggers. She talked about the topic, was it setting boundaries, Shonda?
Yeah.
So thank you for that. Thank you for setting those 2 topics up for me. But tonight we wanted to talk about setting these achievable goals, because as we look, 2023 is right around the corner. And a lot of people have, kind of got out of the culture of setting New Year's resolutions. Some people have still been doing it. Some people aren't. This is not really a resolution, what I'm working on right now. This right here, what we're talking to you all about tonight, is a lifestyle change. So this wouldn't be a one and done. This would be a lifestyle change. This would be something that you would want to incorporate in your day-to-day, whether it be business, marriage, relationship, work, arena, business, etc. We want to see you all successful as business owners. We know what it takes in order to, we may not know it all because we're still babes in it, but we have conquered enough, I should say, that we know what is needed. Those of you all that might even need capital for your business, because there's going to be a lot of funding. Hear me clearly. There is a lot of funding for businesses that will be loose in 2023. If you have a business and it's not formation, the formation of it, the business entity is not formatted correctly, I encourage you to get your business formatted correctly to make you funding ready. Okay, those of you all that want that blueprint, I'll be happy to share it with you free of charge on what that looks like. Those of you all that may even want an accountability partner, I'm ramping up my ability to make myself available as an accountability partner. We can do group sessions, we can do individual sessions where we sit down, and I'm gonna tell you, each business is different, so we can tailor make. And I'm gonna tell you this real quick, and I just need to toot my horn for a minute because I don't talk about this enough. But what caused me to want to start my business was the fact that in my corporate space, I facilitate trainings for doctors and nurses all the time. And in the pandemic, I realized that there were not enough systems in place to keep new businesses, physician offices, etc., open. They had not formulated their customer acquisition, and they had not done any marketing, and they had not had all of the correct demographic information while they were in the pandemic to stay connected with their consumer base. And it kind of, I noticed a gap and I saw a need. I decided to become a business consultant to allow me to not only learn different tools and resources to be able to help small businesses, because that's exactly what I do in my business, in my not in my business but in my corporate space. I learn tools that my employer gives me, and I regurgitate it and go back and teach it to providers. So my business is set up exactly the same way, just different tools, different resources. I am here to help. I don't know it all. If I don't know something, I won't act like I know it. I will certainly, and I have mentors. I have millionaire mentors. I have millionaire mentors. So my intent is to learn as much as I can from them, because I'm around currently right now 3 millionaires, and it's my desire for Shonda now to be number 4 and number 5. And I do believe that we can do it. I do believe that it is attainable, because if you do the math on a millionaire, truthfully speaking, it is very obtainable. It's very attainable. And so I encourage you all who have goals and aspirations, put pen to paper, write the vision, make it plain, and go out there and do what you need to do, and do it unapologetically.
I love that. I love that so much. So, were you done or?
I am. I'm sorry. I yield.
Okay. No. Okay. So, if you don't take anything away from conversations with the Shondas, I want you guys to really think about this. I'm going to ask you a question. Why are you here? Why are you here on our lives? Why are you here on Facebook? Why are you here on social media in general? If not to be social and to network. This is a social networking company. That's what Facebook is. That's what all of these companies are. They don't just get on here so we can be social. They are making it is a way for you to be able to network with people. Rashonda was just talking to you about her business and how she took knowledge from her corporate space and utilized that in her business. We want all of you who have been tuning in with all of us since September to utilize us, utilize our network, and let this thing be a mutually beneficial tool, right? You guys are the CEO of your company. So if you are on social media, you have access to all of those people that you are friends with, that follow you, that subscribe to your channel, and that comment on things that you do. One of the people that I followed yesterday, y'all know yesterday was Cyber Monday, and she posted that she had gotten 33 emails from Fashion Nova. She had gotten like 20-something emails from Macy's and like a bunch of different emails from all these other companies. And she said she read some of them and ignored the rest. And none of the companies got mad because she didn't do anything. They still promoted their business.
That was their job.
So
they understood the assignment.
Right. The assignment is to promote your business. The assignment is to get consumers. The assignment is to stay connected, right? Whether that's via social media, email. If I showed y'all my phone, I would show y'all all of these text messages that I got since Thursday of businesses and companies trying to get me to purchase something from their business. So why are you here if not to promote your business or to promote something that you're doing, or to utilize networks of other people to go get big. So go get big.
And listen, we can network together, just like Shonda said. We can network together. We have a group of ambassadors that help us send out our promotions, okay? When our ambassadors have things, we want to be able to be in position to support them the same way they support us. It's not a one-way street over here. We want to make sure that there's reciprocity. We want to make sure that we value and honor the people that have taken out the time to support us, because we understand that you don't have to do it. We are clearly aware of that.
Right.
And we honor that, and we want to be able to pour back into y'all just like y'all pour back into us. It's a mutual agreement.
That's right. It's mutually beneficial. So don't you think because Miss Terry gets on here and shares our live and posts 100 people while we're sitting here talking, don't you think that if Miss Terry got something going on, LaShonda Stevens and Rashonda Mack gonna support? LaShonda Stevens and Rashonda Mack gonna be sharing it on our socials, right? So why not? So why not? If Miss Celestine got a business, if Dr. Shanette is live, or Dr. Shanette got something going on, why wouldn't we? She comes on our lives and comments and engages and gets on the live and talks and speaks to the people. Why wouldn't we support? That's what we're here to do. Absolutely. This is just a virtual way to do that. Go ahead.
Absolutely. I just wanted to, I feel this is very fitting. Two things I wanted to say, just piggybacking off of Dr. Shanette. Dr. Shanette does have a podcast. We encourage you all to go over and support her as well. She has a podcast. If you're not following Dr. Shanette Bone, I encourage you to go over to her page and follow her. She sends us religiously, faithfully. She's dedicated to her mission. She sends us podcasts daily to listen to. They're 3 minutes. It's very fruitful information that can help you, get through your day. And I encourage you to connect with her. And I wanted to talk about Keela real quick. She's listed here on Facebook as Zoe Hagler. Keela has a workbook that I think is phenomenal. I think it's next level.
Keela!
Go Keela. I want to take a moment to congratulate Keela. Congratulations, Keela, on your workbook. It's a self-therapy workbook. You may not be in a position, whether it be financially, whether it be relationally, to go into a therapy session. And to be transparent, I started some of my internal work by myself, and I used journaling as a way to see the areas that I needed work in. And so I do believe that Keela's workbook would be very helpful. Keela, if you don't mind, if you could put the link down in here, I'll definitely see if I can pin it for you.
Yes, put the link for your book, Zoe. Yes. Y'all go out there and support.
Absolutely. I'm very proud of you, Keela. That was a next level step. I greatly appreciate it. And the fact that we have been talking about mental health awareness, I just believe it's very fitting for you all to go and support Keela with getting that workbook. And I'm going to be honest, Shonda and I, we haven't talked a whole lot offline, but I believe when we get on our new platform, we may even take some time to dissect some books while we're over there, and we can use those books as conversation pieces. We're going to invite guests on the show, so if there's anybody that have a topic that you want to be able to promote or come on, we welcome you. We encourage you. Shoot us an inbox. Also, those of you all who have not sent us your email address yet to stay connected, tonight is it. Tonight is it. This is the finale.
Yep. Keela has a disclaimer. She says it is not to rule out or dismiss any therapist or counselor.
I was going to say that, absolutely. Yeah. And I want to give our disclaimer as well. If you haven't been watching the Shonda's, in no way, shape, or form do we claim ourselves to be clinicians or clinical staff, mental health counselors. We are not in that vein. We do work in medical billing. We do have an understanding of medical terminology and its facets. However, we are not clinicians, nor do we claim to be. Keela is also giving her disclaimer for her workbook. It's just a self-help, self-service opportunity for you to kind of put your work in internally on your own. And I think it'll be a good tool to actually start and then take to your therapist. That way you could be then kind of internally work through what you know is already the issue and help you fast track that when you do decide to go in therapy. My pleasure, Keela. I'm excited. Thank you so much, Dr. Bone, for giving us your email. Anybody else that want to stay connected, tonight is the night. We're going. Chanda, do you want to disclose the platform or do you want to wait till a later date?
No, let's wait. Let's wait.
I'm in agreement. I'm in agreement.
Yeah.
I'm in agreement.
Yeah.
We will be on another platform, but if you do not give us your email, we have no way of staying connected because we will not be on Facebook. It will not be Facebook.
And thank you guys for bearing with us as well. You know, throughout some of the audio and visual issues that we were having. This is part of the reason that we are moving to a different platform because of logistics and also the visual improvement of our content. Like we want to be able to take it up a level. And while Facebook does allow for you to do certain things, it can be very limited. Keela said, can she add a clip from the book? Absolutely.
I say sure, but I don't know if it went through.
Yeah, I just see it. It just posted.
I think I put it in there twice. It might come up twice. Okay.
Yeah, it just posted. But if there's anybody else on here, whether it is live right now or you're watching the playback and you have something that you want to promote, put a link to it in the comments, right? Put a link to it in the comments. You guys can still send stars to different things that we're doing. And make sure that you do. Both of us are able to receive stars. And then when we announce the new platform that we're going to be on, you'll have capability of doing all sorts of things over there as well.
And yes, I do have your email, Mr. Lestine. I have you, Miss Terry's, Erica's, and Keela's. I believe I got all of the ambassadors' email, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I have all of the ambassadors' email. If we don't, we'll get in the ambassadors group and request who we need.
Absolutely. So make sure that you guys are fulfilling, your passions, fulfilling, any business goals that you have. Make sure that they are just like the topic for tonight. Make sure they are realistic and achievable. And I believe that anybody that can get on and sit with LaShonda and Rashonda for 2 to 3 hours, because remember we were doing sessions in the beginning, it was like 3 hours long, 4 hours.
But people was begging us to stay on. They was like, no, don't get off. They was begging us to stay on.
So imagine if you can sit for 4 hours on a live and watch us talk and listen to us talk about certain things that you could also put time into, even if it's when everybody goes to sleep. I'm a midnight rambler, right? I don't go to sleep right away. I will be up at 11 o'clock because my brain won't shut off. I'm thinking about all the things that I want to do, all the things that I haven't done. That's why creating lists are so important and so key for me, is because I can go back and say, okay, at the beginning of the day, I wanted to accomplish this. How many of these things did I accomplish? What can I put off to tomorrow? What actually needs me to be able to put it off for another couple of weeks because it might require a whole process, right? So I do that in the middle of the night. Sometimes I will get up in the middle of the night and start cleaning up because I know everybody's asleep. I ain't got to worry about nobody, getting up, messing nothing up once I, done cleaned up the kitchen and things like that. So whatever you need to do, be realistic about it because that'll help you be able to achieve it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. This has been, once again, a top-notch conversation as usual. I think that this was a great finale conversation. It's really geared towards, the new year and, making sure you're resetting your intentions, you're recalibrating your mind. I'm getting ready to go on a 30-day meatless fast. And, there's a spirituality behind it. I'm setting my intentions, and I'm expecting some things from God, in this next season. And it's going to take my level of faith to get me there. And so I got to do some work. There's some work that I have to do to make sure that I get to where I'm going. And so I'm very intentional about that. And, Shonda and I have goals. We have personal and, collective goals. And we have intentions on getting them set. Again, if anybody's looking for an accountability partner, Shonda, I know we talked about doing a vision board for January or for the new year. I don't know if that'll be something we'll work on in December to roll out for our businesses, or that will be something we'll look at for Shonda in January. But I definitely think that this would be an addendum to this conversation.
Absolutely. And that's definitely something we can either do in December or January. I just want to mention too, because it sparked something when you were talking about how people like to set New Year's resolutions. I just want to say that every day you wake up is an opportunity to reset.
Yes.
Every day that you wake up is an opportunity to do something different. Every day that you wake up is an opportunity to start over.
Absolutely.
It's an opportunity to pursue your goal. So you don't have to wait to January 1 to do something about today. Because remember, tomorrow is not promised. And not that you need it to be fear-based, not that you need to go setting goals because you are fearful that something is going to happen before you're able to achieve it. No. Just know that tomorrow when you wake up, you have that opportunity, whether it is November 30th or December 30th, you have the opportunity to do something different. So what are you going to do today that you didn't do yesterday? What are you going to do today that you didn't do last month? Maybe it is your goal to open up that business. And you have no idea about business credit.
Pull that trigger on that business.
Yes, pull the trigger on all of those things that you have been writing down, that you've had in your brain. Now is the time to do it. And Dr. Shanette, thank you so much. I really appreciate. She has a podcast out on Anchor. I see that Zoe Keela has a podcast out on Anchor. If you guys don't know what Anchor is, it's an app. You can go out there, download it, or you can go out to the website and listen to different podcasts out there. I wanted to just go back real quick. Dr. Shanette posted her link to her page. What did it say? isurvivedinc.net is her website for shirts and sweatshirts. This is what we ought to be doing. Whenever any of us have anything going on, promote your business. Put a link in the comment section, and we will do the same when we come on your platform. Now, of course, we have, we don't want to be just assuming that it's okay, because not everybody likes for you to post their, post your links and stuff in their platform. Rashonda and I are not like that.
We're not like that at all. We encourage it, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, so we want to be one of the few places that you can go and promote your business, share our network, share our followers, so that we can do the same for you. When we have stuff going on, we expect for you to at least take a look at it, to listen to what we have going on. And in that same vein, I know I'm talking a lot. I know you've been trying to end this for a couple minutes now.
Okay. No, I wanted to end in respect for you, so I'm flowing. Just whatever because I know you're tired.
Right. So yeah, we see. When I get passionate about something, then I keep on talking.
That's me.
But I just want to tell y'all that yesterday or the day before yesterday, I did a Zoom call with the lady that I met on social media. And it was just from following her at the behest of one of these groups that I'm in. It's just basically like, follow for a follow. If you comment on here, everybody that comments on here, follow these people. And so she just posted something to one of my comments, and she said, hey, I'm interested to hear, about your business. So then we did a Zoom call. Lo and behold, this lady has so many aspects of her business that could be advantageous to me, right? And she lives in a different part of the country that I'm in. So when I say to you guys, you guys have access to the world. That is the benefit of social media, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, the internet, all of that. You have access to this stuff. So utilize this. The world is your oyster. Anything that you need, you can find out there. There is somebody out there that has the business acumen that you need. There is somebody that has, tax services. There is somebody that has graphic design. There is somebody that has counseling services. There is somebody that has all of the things that you could possibly need for your professional development as well as your personal development. So utilize that. I can't say that enough. And yeah, Dr. Shanette, yeah, we need to help each other. These other people are doing it. Let's do it too. Let's maximize on that.
Absolutely, absolutely. You said a lot of great information. I just wanted to take a moment to thank you because you sent me something that became a lead for me. I don't know where it's going to go yet. I don't know where it's going to go. I'm trusting and believing God. But remember that I think you sent it to me. It might have was off of Instagram, and it was somebody that had some commercial properties down your way. And I think you sent me that. So I reached out to the guy on that flyer, and he has about 11 commercial properties that he's trying to get filled, get people rented in. And I brought up the business proposal to him about helping them, the potential tenants to get funding. So I get to show him the business model on Thursday. I don't know where it's going to go, but the fact that he became a lead at the hand of you passing that on, I just wanted to give you that. Thank you. And just so you know, if and when that does become a client that is funded, that'll be a big payout for you.
Oh, we like that. We like that. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, see there. Oh my gosh. You see Keela?
Thank you, Lord. I want to shout. Shonda?
Ask and you shall receive. You see? You see? Keela, you don't even know.
All you got to do is plant seeds. And if you water them, and when it's time for harvest, if you plant it, you going to harvest when everybody else harvests. Listen, I got chills.
I'm grateful. I'm grateful. That's what I'm saying, y'all. Open up your mouth. Open up your mouth and say and share. And I think even Dr. Shanette was talking about this. Like, clap for others while it's somebody else's turn. And by the way, it can be more than one person's turn at a time. It don't have to be one person at a time. It can be a million of us winning at a time. It's so much out there, y'all. So let's go out here and win.
We can have a whole movement of everybody moving and popping and shaking.
That's right. And so whatever somebody else got going on, clap for them, congratulate them, tell them you're proud of them. I love to see when our community wins. I love to see when our community does things. And you just never know when it might just be that one thing that you started doing that makes all the other things start popping, right? Because guess what? When Keela end up with her talk show, people going to go back and say, oh, remember that first book she had? Did we ever get that first book? Then her book going to be popping on Amazon. You hear what I'm saying?
Listen, Keila, I got a word for you. Your name is in rooms you haven't entered yet. Receive that and let God go ahead and bless you, because I'm going to tell you, that same workbook is going to be a buzzer. And I'm going to be honest, I think that's an opportunity for us to bring Keila on the show. When we go to the next platform, you don't know what God will do, Keila.
Listen, I'm telling you, it's so much out there, y'all. Why are you on social media and you are not utilizing it like you're not optimizing it? You should be optimizing your social media. My page is open because I'm open for business. My page is open because I'm open for opportunity.
Yes. Say so. That's good, Shonda. That's good. That's good. So let's continue to set our intentions as we move and embark into the new year. Um, those that have been supporting us from day one, we humbly appreciate you. We appreciate you from, not finding it robbery to come and sit in on some of our conversations. Thank you for those who have supported by joining in on the conversations, those that have supported by shares, those that have supported by
Yep.
stars. We don't want to leave anybody behind. We thank you for it all. It has been a powerful couple of months. It has
Oh my
caused us,
God.
it has caused us to, I'm over here blushing because we did something that we talked about and then we actually put in action to make it
Yeah.
manifest.
We
That's
set an
good.
achievable goal. We
Yes, we
decided
did.
that we were going to go ahead and do it. We didn't wait for everything to be perfect, right? We didn't wait for, we to get some studio time. We didn't wait for, when we were in the same locations. We didn't wait for any of that. We said we got the opportunity to do something that's going to be really good, and we did it right here on Facebook. And I'm so
Right.
grateful to you, Rashonda. Thank you so much for continuing to follow up with me, because that's one of the things that I'm working on in this season, is being able to completely follow through with stuff,
Right.
and so
But it's
I
a mutual
love that.
reciprocity. It's a mutual reciprocity because even when I'm slacking, you cause me to rise to the occasion as well. So I appreciate you giving me that, but it was mutual because I definitely needed it as well. I kind of know what I want us to do in the direction in which I want us to go, but being consistent. And procrastination has been an enemy of mine for some time. If I really tell the truth, to shame the devil. So that's one of the things I want to eliminate in 2023. And procrastination has become an enemy to me, not because I don't feel like I can't achieve the next goal. If I be honest, Shonda, and you may be able to resonate with this, and so may some of these people on this line here. Y'all come in close. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I think I wasn't doing nothing because I was scared I was gonna be successful.
Ooh, ooh. Ain't that the case for a lot of us, though? Ain't that the case for, what if this thing really do pop off?
Y'all let that marinate now because that's the truth. And I'm gonna tell you, oh God, I feel you. I
With
have
all them heart.
millionaire, I have millionaire mentors, and I'm gonna tell you across the board what each one of them have said, and they're all in different arenas, so they don't even know each other. Excuse me. They all said that they became millionaires when they made a decision to change their mindset. That was powerful. It wasn't no fancy tools. They didn't have, some of them started off with no money, okay? They just had a plan and a purpose, okay? And all it took was them to shift their mindset.
Mindset matters.
It really does.
Yep. And so, what have you learned? I want you guys to do this for us. I know sometimes we'll tell you guys to post things. Not only do we want you to share the live, after you get off this conversation with us, off this live, but I really want you guys to do this. What are some of the things that you learned? What are some of the things that you were exposed to by listening to conversations with Rashonda since September? I believe it was September 13th that we started going live. I think Rashonda may have done a few sessions before that with some other people, because she's been going live consistently. So, what are some of the things that you have learned um, just by coming on? What are some of the things that you've been exposed to? Some of the things that you realize that were a part of your life? Maybe some triggers that you had. Whatever it is, post that. Y'all know how we do. Use the hashtag conversations with the Shondas. hashtag the Shondas, and just say, I was listening to these ladies and I realized that I get triggered when people are sitting down doing nothing when I'm cleaning. Whatever it is.
That was a good one. I want to read what my god sister said. She says, when you get there, don't forget to say, I want to thank my god sister, cousin, who taught me everything I know. Listen, sis, I ain't gonna never forget you, Tanika. Like, and if I never get the opportunity, let me share this with you now. Tomorrow is not promised. I want to give you your flowers while you're very much so alive and well, while you're very much so able to hear my thanks and my gratitude towards you. You have been there for me, Shaniqua. I don't even want to cry. You have been there for me in one of the most difficult seasons of my life. Wholeheartedly. You have been there for me, as well as Allison. Um, you all were there for me in a very, very difficult season of my life. When I got diagnosed with breast cancer, I don't take that lightly. I'll never forget the things that you've done. I'll never forget the sacrifices that you ladies have made. And, this is my 10th year cancer anniversary. I don't know why I'm getting ready to cry again, but I've been so emotional lately because I've been in such a happy place. And, all I know is I don't know what God is getting ready to do. I don't know how He going to do it. And as a matter of fact, I'm not even trying to figure it out. It's really none of my business. But I know something great is coming. I know that we're getting ready to embark upon something great, something new. It may even be something challenging, but it's unfamiliar. It's uncomfortable, but we welcome it. We welcome it. Thank you, Shaniqua.
Shaniqua, man. I hope you received that, hon. I hope you received that. That's so powerful, Rashonda. I want us to remember that connecting, being a village to each other, it's in our DNA.
Yeah.
They may have removed us from our homeland, stripped us of our culture and our heritage.
Hold on for a minute, Shonda. I really don't want you to. Please keep what you're saying. Please keep what you're saying. I want Shaniqua to cash at me some money for these lashes I got on because I'm about to cry them off. $ anointed the number 4 this Mac. I want some lashes because you're about to make me cry them off. I want some more lashes now because I got to come home to my aunt this weekend for my aunt's funeral, and I need. If these get ghosts, that's something gonna be wrong. I'm gonna need you to help us sister out now. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Shonda, because they feel like they're trying to fall off while I'm on this live.
God, my God. If you don't go ahead and put you some glue on them things and lay them right on their down.
Oh my God. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying that what we're doing and what we have been doing since September 13th, and even things beyond this collective of conversations with the Shondas, is indicative of where we come from. It's in our DNA, y'all. I was just saying they removed us from our homeland. They stripped us of our culture.